unless you're called on to speak or you are presenting. We'd appreciate it. However, if you have any questions, something isn't working, you have an idea you want to float, you want to just say hi to everyone, please just go ahead and post whatever you'd like in the chat. We'd be happy to interact with you throughout the session, and you are welcome to interact with each other. So we encourage that. We'd like to say just follow us on social media to stay informed. So our webpage is thepopmovement.org. I'll put this all in the chat. Facebook page is Pop Movement. Also Instagram, pop.movement. And then we have a Pop Movement YouTube channel, as well as the Protect Our Planet Movement LinkedIn channel. So there are a lot of social media channels to follow us on, and I just put them all in the chat. So thanks so much. Encourage your friends to follow and other folks to join. We have a lot of people in this session. It's fantastic. If you can do a little bit of posting while you're in here, that will help bring attention to the fantastic work that you are all doing, as well as the movement. We encourage you to use hashtags on your social media post. So again, I will put these in the chat, but hashtag Pop Festival 2020, hashtag Pop Movement, hashtag Climate Action Now, and hashtag December 2020. That's a lot to remember. So like I said, I just put those all in the chat. So you are welcome to cut and paste them. Okay. And there are many more workshops today and for the next few days throughout the weekend. So you're welcome to register for other workshops. The Pop Festival registration we'll also put in the chat, and it's on our website. Yeah, and we'd love you to join us. So really appreciate everybody being here. This is going to be a really great interactive session. We have a lot to share with you. And Anna, I will turn it over to you.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that great introduction, Marisa. And thank you so much for everyone for being here. Before we start showcasing the projects today, we are going to present a video address from His Serene Highness Prince Albert II from Monaco. His Serene Highness Prince Albert II is the reigning monarch of the Principality of Monaco, a renowned conservationist and advocate for the oceans, marine, and polar environments. His Serene Highness Prince Albert II was honored with the prolific environmental work carried out by his organization, the Prince Albert II Foundation, which he founded in 2006 after traveling to the North Pole and witnessing the effects of climate change on the Arctic's weakening ice. He served as the International Patron of the Year of Dolphin when it was declared by the United Nations in 2007, and in 2019 he received the honorary title Doctor Honoris Causa at the Comenius University in Bratislava for his activities in the field of protecting our natural and cultural heritage. So without further ado, I will share His Serene Highness video.
Mes chers amis, depuis que l'épidémie de coronavirus a frappé nos pays, nos communautés et nos familles, nous avons vu nos océans changer. Ces changements sont riches de signification et porteurs d'espoir. Ce sont des eaux plus claires car moins polluées, des espèces réapparaissant dans des zones jadis désertées, des écosystèmes retrouvant un peu de leur santé. En quelques semaines, nous avons vu que les évolutions de nos modes de vie avaient des conséquences immédiates sur l'état des mers. Pourtant, ces progrès risquent d'être vite oubliés si nous nous contentons, après la crise, de revenir au même fonctionnement d'avant la crise. Si nous renouons avec notre modèle de développement égoïste et destructeur qui a tant abîmé les milieux marins. C'est pourquoi il nous faut tirer profit de cette situation et nous mobiliser pour les océans en ce jour qui leur est dédié tout au long de l'année. Nous savons ce dont nos océans ont besoin. La lutte contre les pollutions, notamment plastiques, le développement d'une pêche et d'une aquaculture durable, la protection de la biodiversité. L'extension des aires marines protégées qui devrait couvrir 30% de la surface des océans. La préservation du climat, l'instauration d'un vrai statut de la haute mer, la promotion d'un tourisme réellement durable. Tous ces objectifs sont à notre portée. Nous avons vu au cours des dernières semaines que nous acceptions de changer face à un danger à court terme. Plus que jamais, il nous faut donc convaincre, en particulier la jeunesse, qui a dans ses mains, avec son avenir, celui de notre planète, de l'importance des océans. Alors que notre monde prend conscience de ses fragilités, alors que chacun s'interroge sur la manière de réinventer nos économies et nos sociétés, vous devez, nous devons tous, nous mobiliser pour que les océans soient au cœur du monde qu'il nous faut reconstruire. C'est le sens de mon engagement avec ma fondation et avec mon gouvernement, et c'est ce que devrait nous inspirer cette journée mondiale des océans. Je vous remercie. My thoughts are especially with the participants of the POP Ocean Virtual Summit. I wish every success to their meeting today. I'm sure that the late Dr. Rajendra Kumar Pachauri, founder of the movement, who unfortunately left us a few months ago, would be happy to see the one prosper as well. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Anna?
No problem. Yeah, so this video was shared with us during Ocean Day, but I think it applies to every single day because it's really important to conserve the ocean and for its preservation to be a top priority for everyone. So in this session, we will have 8 presentations from youth leaders that focus on ocean conservation. In March of this year, during the Second World Sustainable Development Forum, the POP Ocean Initiative was launched after a panel focused on the ocean because we noticed that we needed to add more focus on all the amazing ocean conservation projects that are being executed across the world. Since then, we have organized many virtual events, including an event on World Ocean Day and a workshop to help youth leaders become ocean advocates. So right now we have here with us many of those leaders who have been a part of the initiative since we once started. And we also have many leaders from the Blue Circle, which is the Irvis Foundation's event, which was really, really amazing. So over to you, Marisa, before.
Yeah, it's been actually really overwhelming in a positive way to see how many youth have stepped up to participate in the various ocean initiatives that we've started. And these are both young people who already had projects running, as well as those who are ready to start new ones. So it's been truly inspirational. Before we start the first presentation, so we now have a series of youth presentations, I wanted to remind the youth speakers that each session will be evaluated. So we have the great pleasure to have Tianga Rug and Nahid Ayala evaluating this session. We'd like to thank you, evaluators. We'd like to remind you that you have 10 minutes to present your project, and you'll be notified that you have 1 minute left. So the timing is fairly strict. Our first presenter, so we will unmute you or unmute yourself when it is time to present. And again, folks are welcome to put comments in the chat, and I will put the hashtags up in the chat as well. Again, our first presenter of the session is Stuti Mishra from India,
Yes,
who will share her project, Save Our World. Stuti, you may go ahead.
Thank you for the warm welcome. Well, this is my project. I'm Stuti Mishra from India. This is my project named Save Our World. So this is an initiative by me, which involves 5 areas, that is reuse, repair, refuse, reduce, and recycle. See, here you can see all the garbages spread all across the world because, garbages are everywhere. There is no place in the world where there is no garbage. So this image sums up all. The world produces over 2 billion tons of municipal solid waste every year, enough to fill over 800,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools. So that's a topic of major concern. So we need to think about it, right? So here is something about me. Hello, this is Stuti Mishra from India. I'm 20 years old. I'm currently an undergraduate student, and I'm very passionate about saving our world by taking actions in the right direction. I believe that if we all take actions to save our world, it will ensure a better livelihood to the mankind. Well, this is all about my Mishra Sweep Tech. This is an innovation made by me. Actually, it's an idea which I would like to implement in future. So here is the opening statement. Garbages such as plastic waste lying on the beaches goes into the ocean, leading to the death of marine lives, which ultimately destroys our biodiversity. So the objective of my project is to build a system that can segregate waste from sand beaches as well as mud at a lower price than the available solutions present in the market. Outcomes of my project would be cleaner beaches, cleaner roads, proper waste management, cost effective, no laborers required, time saving. And the objective is to minimize the energy and cost and maximize capacity of garbage and rate of collection. This is the diagram of Mishra Sweep Tech, which I have designed, and it is drawn by myself, by me. So here is the, well, you can see this is movable handles. And this is digger, which will dig the soil wherever or the surface where the garbage would be spread. And there is a GPS to position to detect which area and which direction it has to go. There is a camera to look to identify in which direction it is going, and there is a radar and also ultrasonic sensors here to locate the direction. And it has 4 wheels where it has a wheel encoder here, because it is basically an autonomous vehicle which will be driven by artificial intelligence, which will not only clean the roads but also clean the beaches, roads, and everywhere. It can be it can clean every kind of garbage spread on the road at the cheaper price. And here is the lidar. Since it's an autonomous vehicle, it needs all these things to uh, direct it. And it has 3 layers. So first layer is has a sieve, in which this digger will dig the soil or the surface where the garbage would be spread. And through this movable handles, it will take wait, I show you. It will take this to this garbage collector box, and in the first layer it will fall first, and then in the first layer thick waste would be segregated like stones and all. And the second layer, it will, and the small tiny particles like sand will go to second layer, and then the fine particles will settle down to the third sieve. So and here is an onboard map. And there is a leveler, because since it will dig the surface, so the surface can be leveled by this leveler. Moving on to next, here is stakeholders engagement with Mishra Sweep Tech. So to put that point forward, I have put some perks of investing in MST. That is, it has chances of rising to great heights in future, since climate action is one of the most important concern for today as well as for tomorrow's. There are no other autonomous vehicle present everywhere to clean the roads, and less energy consumption and cost effective. And here is the roadmap making Mishra Sweep Tech a reality. So first is idea germination. Then second is discussing it with evaluators, which we have already done. Then here is adding more dimensions, and then brainstorming, then improving my project, then creating a prototype, and then asking for feedbacks, and then conducting online workshops. Moving on to next, road mapping and implementation, and then validation and development, and then business planning, then monetization and launch, and then marketing, then communication, and then stakeholders engagement, and then final growth stage. Well, here I have put forward some policies to tackle plastic crisis, since I'm associated with the Urvis Foundation, which ideate solutions to tackle with the plastic crisis. So here are some points I have put forward. Telling grocery stores, shopkeepers, dairy shopkeepers, vegetable vendors, and tell them to print slogans on walls regarding plastic crisis. I'm sorry, here it is print again. And then the second point is through street dance, drama, and poetry performances, we can draw the attention of people on the roadside. And then by putting a statue in the middle of the road, and that statue can somewhat show like a person or something like plastic, representing a plastic, the harmful effects of plastic crisis. And then there are some online workshops which can be conducted by schools and colleges and even NGOs, and also offline workshops in schools and colleges, at least one workshop yearly. Award for spreading awareness about social cause in society, schools, colleges, etc., since people like to be appreciated, and people do more when they are appreciated and empowered. So putting hoardings on beaches with the slogans related to plastic crisis. And here are employment generation. So my project, I want to generate employment for underprivileged people from my project, that is Mishra Sweep Tech also. And here there are some ideas for employment generation. So I have put forward here some best out of waste from waste plastic products. Videos are presented below as the reference, which can be taught to poor people to make a living for them instead of begging. We should encourage people to buy things from poor people to make a living for them by working instead of begging despite the hardship. So I put some references which I'll paste in the chat sections for your reference. You can watch them later. And here's a poem created by me. So it is titled as Protect Our Planet. It reads like, our earth is very beautiful and it is a fact. Let us not spoil its beauty with our selfish act. One of the biggest problems is caused by evolution. We should take climate actions to control our pollution. We all need to come together to do our part. Even just being aware of the solutions is a good start. Our planet Earth will be so much cleaner. Trees, plants, and grasses will be much greener. Again, there will be many birds in the sky. How beautiful the view will be to see them fly. There will be so many more fishes in the sea. It will help in maintaining the balance in biodiversity. Our planet Earth is very beautiful, priceless, and rare. And these are the facts we all need to be aware. Thank you. Moving on. Thank you. That's it. That's about my project.
Thank you so much, Stuti. That's an amazing project, and that was a beautiful poem at the end. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. We have time for one question from the evaluators. So if
Yes.
Yahoga, oh, go ahead.
Yes, I would like to ask, this is really wonderful. I didn't
Thank
get
you.
what is the energy this device is running with?
Well, this is an autonomous vehicle, so it will be driven by artificial intelligence. So I have put forward some, in this diagram, I have mentioned the points and the devices which need to be connected to run this device.
Yes, but
So it
what is
will
the source of energy? Is it solar energy, or where does the energy come from?
actually it doesn't run on solar energy. Well, it is a futuristic device I have thought of, but it will run on hydrogen gas. Yeah. And even solar energy, that's a good idea. I would like to add in my project. So that's a good idea. Solar energy should be utilized for such purposes. And it runs on artificial intelligence, so, and also hydrogen source. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that great questions, Yahoga, and thank you so much, Stuti, for answering.
Thank
Your
you.
project
Thank you.
was great. So next up, we will have Ved Sanyal, part of the Blue Circle Initiative, who will be presenting his project, The Autumns for Plastic. You may go ahead, Ved.
Can everybody see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Just forget the full screen. Okay. So my name is Ved, and today I'll be talking about my solution, which is the stimuli-based plastic alert system. Now, before I get to what my solution is, I would like to talk about what the problem is. Now, many of us know that animals get entangled in plastic and they start to drown, their wings get trapped, and they die, and a lot of animals die, and I'll be talking about the facts after this. But the problem that I'm focusing on is the fact that a lot of animals tend to mistake plastic for food. And when they eat that, it makes them feel full when they're not. And the reason that they go for plastic is that it seems like an easy prey. Now, plastic isn't moving around like any other fish. It's just floating with the current. And it seems to as an easy prey for many birds and fishes. And that's why they go and try to eat plastic. Now, when they eat plastic, it makes them feel full. So their stomach gives signals that we're full, that it's full now, when they're not. And this repeats every time they eat plastic, and eventually they starve to death, which is the end of this. It's a long process, but at the end of it, they do starve. So to put this into perspective, 100,000 marine animals die because of plastic every year. 56% of whales and dolphin species have been recorded eating plastic. And this just shows that, yes, it's a very big problem, and many of us might not be taking the exact approach that I think we should be taking towards this problem. To add a few more facts, 97% of dead Layton albatross chicks are found with plastic particles in their food. And when parent birds get food for the baby birds, 100% of this food has some amount of plastic in it. So now I've stated what this problem is. To moving on to the solution. So getting rid of plastic is the most natural solution that we look at when we look at this problem, that this plastic, and we should get rid of at least single-use plastic. The problem is that even after we get rid of single-use plastic, there's still going to be a lot of plastic that we're going to end up disposing into the environment, and that's going to reach the oceans at the end of the day. Moreover, getting rid of plastic is a very long-term solution. And rather than waiting for that, I think we should start working on another aspect today itself. And so my idea is that we modify plastic such that the plastic activates stimuli of animals. Now, just like humans, when they see particular images, or they see or they smell something, they tend to say that, okay, I don't want to go there, I don't feel comfortable, or it seems dangerous to me. Similarly, animals have this same sense of feeling, and that happens when there's a certain stimuli that gets activated. So my solution is that we have plastic, we modify plastic such that it activates a stimuli, and that makes them apprehensive to go towards plastic. So essentially, they consider that this is something that they shouldn't be eating because it's dangerous to them. Now, every species has a different way of reacting to stimuli. Every bird, different type of bird will react to a different type of stimuli in a different type of way. So for my project, I have decided to take albatross as the species that I'll be working towards the first. And I'll be studying the stimuli of albatross birds and make plastic such that they don't, they think that they become apprehensive towards eating the plastic. Now, why have I chosen albatross? Like I mentioned earlier in the fact, albatrosses are greatly affected by plastic, and not only on sea, but also on beaches. Now, why are they affected on in the ocean? This is because albatross fish don't dive very deep. They don't go too deep to find their prey. They usually feed on surface fish. And plastic is also something that's light and it floats on the surface. And that is one of the main reasons why they mistake plastic for food. The stimuli that gets them to plastic is mainly color and smell. The various plastic colors attract them. And that's how they think they try to go and eat plastic. Now, that's how they're affected by the plastic problem. But another reason I chose the albatross is because they tend to signal other fish if there's danger, if there's a predator, they signal other fish of danger. And essentially why this is important to my project is that if we make albatross think that plastic is dangerous, they will start coming and giving these signals to other fishes. And we hope that they will start to give these signals to other fishes, which means that by aiming towards albatross, not only will we make them apprehensive towards plastic, but also other species. So what kind of stimuli do marine animals react to? The main one is electric and sonar radiation. Many species use a sonar and electric radiation to locate predators and locate other animals in the marine ecosystem. And that's how when they get a certain frequency, they react to that and they move away from it if there's a predator, or if there are more of their species, they'll move towards them and things like that. Then even smell, similarly, the smell of a certain surrounding influences how they behave in that situation. The color of various objects also determine if they consider it to be safe or unsafe. And finally, the call, like I spoke about albatross call, the call of other species also helps them locate if there is danger in this area or not. Now, I haven't started working on my solution yet. It's just an idea, but I have started doing research. Before I start doing my research, I need to keep a few things in mind, I think, which are these obstacles. So the first thing is that why is plastic important? It's important and it's used a lot because it's durable and cheap. And that's why it's desirable by both producers and consumers. So it's important that my solution keeps that in mind, because it can't be something that's very expensive, because if it's very expensive, it won't be used, because the whole point of plastic is that it's cheap. If I come up with a very expensive solution, neither will manufacturing happen, nor will people buy that plastic. And it won't be economic anymore. The other part is that we want to make them apprehensive towards plastic. We don't want to disturb their mental peace. It's important that we don't make them anxious or disturb how they behave in the surroundings by adversely affecting their mental behavior. So that's another important aspect. But one of the most important aspects is that when we're creating plastic, we're doing some amount of environment damage. It shouldn't be that when my product has to come into the market, it's doing more environment damage than plastic is currently. Because then I'm trying to save the environment in one aspect and then I'm destroying it in the other aspect. And that's not going to be, that's going to destroy the purpose. So milestones. I have decided a species based on how it's affected and how it would respond, and if it's feasible. The next thing that I have to do is understand how they respond to various stimuli that I mentioned earlier, and to what are they more sensitive, to what do they react in which ways, because it's important that I understand how they react. Only then can I choose which stimuli I want to activate. Then it is that once I've decided which stimuli I'm going to activate, I need to look at how that's going to happen physically, translating it to physical reality, and then seeing that, okay, is it desirable, is it economic, and other aspects that I talked about. Finally, is how does this theoretic activating stimuli actually work? Is it practical? And that can only be done through testing and troubleshooting and seeing that, yes, okay, I have done this. Is it actually effective? And if it is, then it is something that can be launched into the market itself. Finally, I would like to thank the whole Blue Circle community. I think I've developed a lot and understood a lot of new perspectives. And obviously, Dr. Ash, he's guided me and given me all the resources I needed to decide. And anytime I needed help, he would just be there for me to reach out. So thank you.
Thank you, Ved. That was truly an amazing presentation, very innovative and creative. And I have to second your appreciation of Ash, who is always there for all of us. I don't know how he does it. So thanks, Ash. Fantastic presentation, Ved. I think we have time for one, potentially two questions from the evaluators. So any evaluators have a question? Yes.
Yes. Well, I think this is really a very innovative idea. Would you say that this is like an ocean species environmental education program? I mean, we've been working on environmental education for children, but this would be like an environmental education program for animals, wouldn't it? Would you say it is something like that? Or how would you express
Yes,
it?
I think to a certain extent, it's trying to teach animals that plastic is harmful to them. Just like we teach small children that knives are harmful, similarly, we can teach animals that plastic is harmful.
But do you think that animals will, well, do you think that animals are in the same vibrations as humans, and that in their evolution, they will also adapt to present conditions?
I think they will eventually, but I don't think that all species will be able to handle the impacts of climate change. And I think that's why it's important that if we're able to make the process of evolution faster or start it right now with solutions like these, they'll be ready for when the problem becomes worse, if it becomes worse.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tia Hoga, for such an amazing question, and thank you, Ved, for sharing with us your project. It's really great.
Thank you.
Yes. I'm sure everyone has more questions. However, we need to move on to the next speaker, but you are welcome to ask Ved questions in the chat. I see folks are still asking Stuti questions, which is fantastic. Feel free to continue that conversation. That's what the chat is for. We have lots more to talk about than we have time for. So I am honored to introduce our next presenter, who is Ara Basahi from the Blue Circle, presenting on circular economy and the reuse of plastic waste. So Arav, are you able to unmute?
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. All right.
Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. So I am Arif Bansali, and today I'm going to explain about circular economy and plastic pollution. India generates nearly 26,000 tons of plastic waste every day, making it the 15th biggest plastic polluter globally. Discarded plastic waste litter the country's roads, rivers, and also from huge amounts in garbage dumps across the country. Plastic waste. The above image depicts the total plastic waste produced in each city in India in tons per day. This is a small solution for the plastic waste. The image below gives a brief overview on the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle that can play a big role in tackling plastic pollution if adopted effectively. Reduce. Why do we need to reduce the plastic waste generated? Recycling plastic is not only requires large amounts of energy but also uses large quantities of water, while getting rid of plastic waste is the primary environmental problem. The production process is a leading cause of carbon emissions contributing to global warming. Say no to plastic. These are the ways to reduce the plastic pollution. The next R is reuse. Reuse is the action or practice of using an item, whether for its original purpose or to fulfill a different function. It should be distinguished from recycling, which is the breaking down of used items to make raw materials for the manufacturing of new products. Below are some ways to reuse the plastic waste. Recycling. Recycling is the process of converting waste materials into new materials and objects. This image shows that how the waste is recycled. These are few case studies of youth heroes. This is a case study of Project Surat, India. Another part of reusing the waste is circular economy. These are the types of economies: linear economy, reuse economy, and circular economy. What is circular economy? A circular economy is an economic system of closed loops in which raw materials, components, and products lose their value as little as possible, renewable energy sources are used, and the system thinking is at the core. What does circular economy consist of? To know more, you can visit this YouTube link. These are the benefits of circular economy. And these are the two cycles. One is the biological cycle and the second is the technical cycle. There are many types of benefits like social benefits and environmental benefits. To conclude my text, I would like to say that this is one of the biggest topics and the most urgent issues in the world, and if everyone is educated, it will be more easy for all of us to unite the world towards solving the problem. My target audience for this project is every single person on this planet. The more people know, the more they can spread the word, and this is how message will pass on, and more people will get educated and start taking actions. I believe that the school needs to make environment studies as a part of the main syllabus. I aim to reach out to as many schools and youth through this educational guidebook to raise awareness about plastic problem. I can also implement this idea in my own school by having few workshops and making banners to educate my schoolmates about this issue. With an aim, reach out to as many youth as possible. I would like to partner with NGOs like the Airways Foundation and the POP movement to effectively implement this project. These are some credits, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Ara. That was a great presentation, and I really like the PDF you created. We have time for one question. So if one of the evaluators would like to ask something, the floor is yours.
Well, I don't know if Nahid wants to ask something. Well, just very quickly, where are you applying this? I mean, this is a wonderful guide, and how are you using it? Where are you using it?
So actually, I am going to spread this educational guide to all of the like most of the people I can do, and that is how this will be sooner implemented in schools also.
Thank you.
Hi, congratulations for your project. I love it. I would like to know if you already talked with your friends about your project.
Yeah.
Did they feel inspired for you?
Yes.
Great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tia Hoga and Nahid, for the great questions, and congratulations again, Ara, for such an amazing educational guide. Now we have a project by Meenakshi Rakesh and Prayasi Desai, which is called Plastic Pollution and Biodiversity. Thank you so much.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we
Yeah.
can see it.
Oh,
Pretty.
Hola, I am Meenakshi, a youth astonished about how the plastic pollution is affecting our environment, who is trying to seek solutions to solve the issue.
Hi, I'm Prayasi, a 12-year-old change maker inspiring more young change makers to help protect the planet Earth.
Me and Tracy have been working on a project we named Eco-Education.
So let's begin.
First up, we have campaign, in which we encourage people to perform activities supporting the environment.
Next, we have a workshop to educate youth about the issue of plastic pollution.
Next, we have innovations, in which we made sketches of innovations that could be made in the future.
And finally, eco-bricks, which can be used to make creative products. The quote which inspired us the most: "Be part of the solution, not the pollution," by Stephen Covey. Here are some facts related to plastic pollution. 18 billion pounds of plastic waste flows into the oceans every year from coastal regions.
100,000 species die each year due to the plastic pollution.
1,000 years is the time plastic takes to decompose.
Did you know polyvinyl chloride is the most dangerous plastic in the world?
Did you know less than a fifth of all plastics are recycled globally?
And that's not it. Did you also know that annually approximately 500 billion plastic bags are used worldwide? Now, on to our project. What is this topic about? We strongly believe upon Priyanka ma'am's words that youth are the ones who can change the world. Hence, we plan upon conducting an eco-education workshop to educate the youth. Our main aim is to spread awareness amongst the society about the issue of plastic pollution.
We also plan on innovating an alternative to the plastic pens we use in our everyday life. We created a campaign by creating interactive posters wherein we engage youth with different activities to educate them. Eco-bricks were also a part of our project. We encourage people to make eco-bricks and reuse their plastic waste.
All of us do know what the problem is. Well, plastic pollution performed by humans are affecting the earth horribly. We need to seek a solution to this.
What's the solution though? We are educating youth leaders through eco-education to change the world. We are campaigning and innovating about the same.
Campaign interactive posters.
We made a few interactive posters for the youth. Our target audience was children. We even posted them on social media in order to spread awareness. People will react to our posts by posting and emailing their activities to us. Let us show you one of our posters.
This is the poster we made about plantation, wherein we encourage the people to send images of them planting trees, which will be posted under our social media accounts.
Process. First, we created posters using an online tool called Canva. Next, we modified them in order to make them more interactive.
Further, we posted them on social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram. And finally, we will get responses from people through email and comments. Workshop Eco-Education. Eco-Education. We will be conducting an interactive workshop session where we are planning to educate the youth about the plastic crisis and how it's drawing back the earth.
We will be making a presentation and will conduct activities to interact well with the youth. We are planning to conduct this workshop soon.
Process. To conduct these workshops, we first created posters again through Canva for advertising about our workshop.
Next, we will post them on social media, and that will be when the audience will be registering using a form link.
Next, we will conduct the workshops and give in our best to make the youth understand. We will make it as interactive as possible.
And finally, participants will submit their assignments and we will provide them with completion certificates.
Here are the posters we made for posting on social media. About advertising about our workshop. We have also made a workshop plan in a chronological order which is yet to be completed. Innovations, replacement of plastic pens. Have any of you ever thought about how the plastic pens we use in our everyday life could affect the world? Well, Americans toss about 1.6 billion disposable pens annually. These pens end up in landfills and as litter. Some of this plastic waste makes its way to our waterways where it breaks down into microplastics, polluting our water and harming ocean life. Here is a plan, idea, and reason we made for replacing plastic pens. Disposed plastic pens could take years to decompose. It could cause plastic pollution too. Well, why not replace plastic pens with wood or metal with a thick inner wax coating for wood? The plus point here is that no plastic tube will be used to insert the ink. The ink will just be poured into the cylinder cut. Replacing plastic pens with wood or bamboo. Towards the left side is the outer surface of the pen. On the top we have the ink nib, which should be used to write. Below that we have a thick wood grip, which will be coated with wood bark, which will give a grip during writing. And the rest of the outer surface of the pen is made up of wood or metal, or wood or bamboo. Towards the right side is the inner surface of the pen. Again, we have the wood or bamboo. Below that, we have a cylinder cut which will be coated with thick wax so that the wood does not suck the ink. And rest of the cylinder cut will be filled with regular pen ink. Replacing plastic pens with metal or steel. Towards the left side is the outer surface of the pen. Again, we have the ink nib. Below that, we have the unstainable rubber grip. And rest of the outer surface of the pen is made up of metal or steel. Towards the right side is the inner surface of the pen. Again, we have the metal or steel. Below that, we have a cylinder cut which will be used to insert the ink. And then the cylinder cut will be filled with regular pen ink.
Eco-bricks, reusing of plastic. Well, how do we make an eco-brick? Step 1, collect clean and dry waste from your home. Next, you have to find a clean, dry plastic bottle with a cap on it. Further, compress all of the waste collected by you into a bottle using a stick. Step 4, pack it tightly throughout the process to ensure it is compressed and leave no air spaces. Further, put the lid back on and voila, your eco-brick is ready. Furthermore, you can even search for some local collectors who are collecting eco-bricks in your community. Donate your eco-bricks to them, and then just like that, you are an eco-warrior.
Well, what can we include in an eco-brick? You can include plastic bags, plastic packagings, disposable cutlery, styrofoam, cellophane, and even cling film in your eco-brick. You must never include metal, glass, paper, or any organic material in your eco-brick. You should make sure that all the material is clean and dry before you use it.
We spread awareness about making eco-bricks too. It was also a part of our campaign. Towards the right side is the poster we made in order to encourage people to make eco-bricks and reuse the plastic waste. We are planning to use them in useful ways too. Here's how the eco-bricks look. These are some eco-bricks collected by us from our society members. We will be making some useful products which can help our society, such as a security desk, dustbins, and much more. This was the message we had sent to our society members for them to make eco-bricks and donate them to us. Eco-bricks collected and info. We have collected 28 eco-bricks till now and in 2 months, and we aim to collect 180. Here's the design we had made for a bench we plan to make. In the top view, the circles represent the eco-bricks. There will be 9 eco-bricks in each side of the bench. In the side view, the rectangular part represents the seat, and its material is yet not decided. We are planning to use something eco-friendly. And below that are the eco-bricks. In the bottom angle is where you can look at the bench from the bottom side. How will the eco-bricks be tied? They will be tied using a metal wire from top and bottom both. There will be wedges applied to the wire in order to screw it to the seat. We will require 18 eco-bricks to make this bench.
Sorry to interrupt. You have 1 minute. Oh, just in time.
Bibliography. Here are the websites we visited for our research. We would like to give credits to Project Surat for the image of how to make an eco-brick, and slides go for the template of this PPT. Thank you for being such a wonderful audience. It was a pleasure meeting you all and being able to convey our thoughts to change the world. Hope you liked our project.
If you have any questions to ask, please do. It would be a pleasure to answer.
Wow, this has been a very beautiful, creative, and fantastic presentation. Thank you so much to both of you for showing this to us. It's really been amazing. We have time for 1 to 2 quick questions from our evaluators. So if either of you would like to jump in, go ahead, Nahid or Tiahoga.
Where are you applying this? How many young kids, to how many friends are you talking about this? What is your audience?
Ma'am, we are planning to conduct a workshop as soon as possible, like with the students in UAE and India, so then we can spread awareness among them.
Great. Nahid, any
Hi,
questions?
congratulations for your project. I like a lot. I would like to know if you already make some eco bricks.
Yes, ma'am. Prayasi had also displayed, she has
Yes.
we have collected 28 eco bricks and we are planning to make a bench out of it.
Yeah, so we could not make it till the pop festival, but we plan to make it in the future.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you. Okay, well, that again was really fantastic, and I'm sure folks might have other questions, so feel free to post those in the chat as everyone has been doing. It's been great to see all the interaction that's happening. Thank you both, Prayasi and Nakishi. That was really, really inspirational. We have another session presentation that is going to surely be fantastic. We're so excited. So now we have Pavani talking about aquifer storage and recovery. And this should be another really great presentation. So Pavani, are you able to jump in and present? And we will time you for 10 minutes.
Yes. Yes.
Excellent.
We'll be presenting it now. Okay, can you see my screen?
It's coming. There we go. Yep, I see a cover slide.
Okay.
Yep, we see your screen.
Storing water underground during wet periods. Sorry?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I think there was a delay. We hear you.
Okay, sorry. To actively storing water underground during wet periods, recovery when needed, usually during dry periods. Intentional aquifer storage with the intent of using the water later has been used for hundreds of years, but is being further developed and refined as demand for fresh water threatens to exceed supply in Dubai and many other parts in the world. As the world's population continues to grow, so will the demands on water resources. Coming to the disadvantages and advantages, some advantages I found were that there's a better water retention as the amount of evaporation is reduced as the water is underground. Another advantage that I found is that it helps create above ground space for collection of peak precipitation and prevents the loss of precious fresh water. One disadvantage that I've found is source water overuse. Source waters which are on the surface or underground could be overutilized to fill these ASR systems. I've done a case study on Abu Dhabi, which is an emirate or state in UAE, as they have started doing this ASR project in Dubai, in the UAE. Abu Dhabi already produces its drinking water from desalinated seawater from the Arabian Gulf. However, in case of emergencies, and in example, when algal blooms prevent the intake of water from the Gulf, this system can supply the whole of Abu Dhabi with sufficient fresh water for a maximum of 3 days only. Longer emergencies like droughts would therefore result in drinking water shortages in Abu Dhabi. The ASR system consists of 3 underground infiltration basins, each surrounded by 105 wells that together infiltrated approximately 21 million meter cubed of desalinated seawater into the aquifer to build up a subsurface reservoir for potable fresh water. The project is the largest desalinated seawater ASR project in the world and is designed by Dornier Consulting. Now, thinking about this project and seeing that it's the largest project, this might cost millions and millions of dollars. Well, what about areas such as India where there are floods or droughts there? What will they do? Well, this is where my innovation comes in. The UWS, the underground water saver. It's a cost-efficient way for farmers to drain water during floods and reuse it during droughts. I chose an L-shaped design for this container so that it's more convenient and can store more water. It's going to be put in the corner of a 1 acre of land. I didn't want to start big as it would be more hard, so I started off small. Here, the container can hold up to 5 tons of water, which is sufficient for 1 acre of land. This project acts like a drain during floods as the water goes through the soil and also the moss which holds it up. There is a metal wire net that has been added so that the soil doesn't fall into the water tank, which is underground. Um, the safety, I found out that during the process of preparation of soil, the farmers add lots of water to the soil and go over it with a tractor. So the water then gets stored into the water tank and the farmers can use the water again by using the hand pump on the side. Now, this project costs about 60,000 rupees, which is very less. The cost of like the material includes like the aluminium tank, the metal wires, the moss, and other things. The farmers are going to have a 5 lakh or 500,000 rupees of profit as they can grow crops during the 3 years or 1 year when the droughts are actually happening and they have an advantage. Now, the importance of this, I wanted to start it in India, as India, the almost 80% of jobs are in the agriculture field or sector, so it's very important in India. The agriculture sector is a prime consumer of water, consuming nearly 70% of the total freshwater reserves. And by this, they can recycle the water and use it for irrigating the crops when the water reserves go low. My project helps the farmers in the long run as it helps them grow crops during droughts. Now coming to the implementation, I was thinking to apprise or tell different NGOs about my project and ask for funding. Some NGOs are via Water Foundation and etc. Then I want to educate the people through videos and posters on what the project is about, as now I'm going to use this on farmers, and most farmers are uneducated. So I was thinking about doing a workshop for them and telling them the advantages of this project and explaining it to them. Now, due to the coronavirus, I don't know where I am going to be taken to, as I can't do it virtually, as in poor countries or poor villages there isn't internet. So I'm still trying to work on that. And the third step would be to train people who would work for the project and who would work for actually handling the machine. And my fourth and final step would be to the verification if the project actually works. So I was thinking about doing a prototype and actually seeing if it works on a 1 acre of land, and then it can be implemented. And thank you. That's the end of my presentation.
Fantastic. That's a great idea to prototype it first. I love that thought. Really fantastic presentation. We do have time for evaluator question or two if either of our fantastic evaluators would like to jump in.
Yes, I just wanted to ask 60,000 rupees, how much is that in US dollars?
I didn't actually calculate it. I should have done that. But then I think it's about, I'm not really sure, lesser than $5,000. It's in the hundreds, basically.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Maybe, I don't know if we have another question from Nahid, if she wants to ask anything.
Hi, congratulations. I like a lot your project. I would like to know, how did you think about make all this? What was your inspiration?
Well, it started off as it was a competition in our school. It's called CBL, Challenge Based Learning. And we were supposed to make a project and showcase it to our principal and some experts from outside. And my grandfather's a farmer. So I thought, why not take up something around the farming sector and help him? So that's why I took it up.
That's amazing. Great inspiration and great family story.
I have one more question. Why would this system be more efficient than traditional water capturing system?
Well, I'm basically this can like save water during floods rather than the flood water actually being wasted. That's one point. And in India, there are less systems that are being placed for like rainwater harvesting. They're not using it correctly. So this can be a way to educate them on how important it is to save water during those times during floods. So yeah.
Thank you, Pavani. That was great. Especially, this is an issue that I think is really important, especially living in Mexico City as well, which is one of the cities that's projected to run out of water in a couple of years. So congratulations on such an amazing project.
Thank you.
So finally, we have a workshop by Mira Hope Malinga, Destin Austin, Elizabeth Nuaisna, Ture Abbas, and Ria Joy, which will talk about attaining quality education as a major step to address climate change. You may go ahead.
Thank you so much, Anna. Greetings, everyone. I would like to yield the floor to Destin.
Hello, greetings, everyone. My name is Destin Austin Wandera. I'm a Ugandan, and I'm a mobilizer in Hitachi, Africa. I would like to yield the floor to Ria.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ria Jordan. I am a South Sudanese residing in Uganda. I'm the procurement officer, Hitachi Africa. I yield the floor to Nuasim Elizabeth.
Tori, I think you should take over.
Hey everyone, my name is Ture Abbas, and I'm an ICT specialist in Hitachi Africa. I'm from Ivory Coast, and thank you.
All right, so hi everyone. I am Malinga Mida Hope. I am of Ugandan nationality, founder and general coordinator of Hitachi Africa. So our session is going to be quite an interactive one. It's more of a workshop, and we hope to engage each and every one of you, and we hope everyone will learn something from what you are going to do. At the end of it all, you'll get to know what kind of project you are working on. So the inspiration behind this workshop is the 3 R's project to attain plastic-free environment by Hitachi Africa in Kampala district under the intervention of Kampala Capital City Authority. The project is to kick off on the 18th of January 2020. The spark for the initiative is on our concept paper, the contextual analysis, which will be presented at the end of the workshop. The theme of this workshop is attaining quality education is a major step to address climate change, which I believe we've all realized. That's why we are all here to share ideas to find a major way we can address the biggest monster, climate change. Methodology, we are using the model UN setting. Not all of us are well conversant with it, but we are here to learn from each other, and that's what is going to happen. So what is the procedure we are going to do? The crisis is going to be presented by Anna. We are going to go into breakout rooms. We have two breakout rooms, that's A and B, to receive our country delegation title. We chose African countries because Hitachi Africa is an Africa-oriented organization. However, that doesn't mean that we are not fighting for change. Africa might be facing that problem, but I believe Mexico, Ecuador, or any other country is facing the same issue we are going to address here. So you receive the country delegation, work together to come up with an opening speech in regards to the issue. In other words, you're going to form a position paper in those groups of ours. And once you are out of the breakout rooms, I'm going to chair the session whereby a delegate from each of the two groups is going to come and present their position paper. Those are what we are going to call the house procedures. The delegate who will present the position paper is open to maximum of 3 points of information from the rest of us present. And all these points of information are going to be asked in question format. One speaker for each, and at the end of it all, we shall declare the think tanks of of the Pop Festival, Model United Nations 2020. The rules are just 3 and easy to follow. Number 1, we need to leave and receive the floor through the chair. I'll be the chair then, and I'll communicate once I'm the chair. So in case you want to communicate anything or leave the floor, you just ask through the chair and you'll yield the floor to the next speaker. And then the other one is everyone must vote for or against. There's a point where we are going to ask you to vote for or against the speaker's position paper, and we are kindly requesting everyone to vote so that we are able to weigh the impact that they have brought to us. And then I'll repeat, points of information are in question form. So the setting right now, as soon as I leave this, is Environmental Committee of the UN General Assembly Pop Festival. So the crisis will be presented to us by Anna right away, and shall join the breakout room.
Yes, give me 1 second. I am just downloading the crisis.
While she's looking for it, are there any questions? So here's the crisis. Alert, alert, alert. Nampak industry in Cape Town, South Africa has been banning plastics worth 1,500 tons, and this has caused approximately 60 death reports after every 48 hours due to bronchial asthma, and about 70 cases of other respiratory diseases this week.
Fully alarmed by the rampant and arbitrary death rates, the Environment Committee of the Pop Festival and Conference 2020 has been given 20 minutes to come up with resolutions to address the issue.
So we are going to go into our breakout rooms and come up with an opening speech.
Okay, everyone jump into their breakout rooms. I will as well.
Excuse me, where are the breakout rooms? Excuse me.
Yeah, I've just, you might have got a pop-up to join.
No, I did not get. Can you please reshare to me?
Yeah, sure.
Excuse me. Yeah.
The last about half a decade or so, working with Dad, traveling with Dad, thinking with Dad, listening to him, and understanding his vision. So I thought this was a great opportunity for me to share what his vision was for the WSDF. And when I say WSDF, the World Sustainable Development Forum, I really can't talk about it without talking about the POP movement, where POP stands for Protect Our Planet, his baby. And I'll tell you more about it. But the one thing I wanted to say, you know, Dad used to keep telling me this. Through his time with the IPCC from 2002 to 2015, he'd always repeat, I can almost hear him in my head right now. He'd say, I'm convinced after, you know, nearly a decade and a half at the IPCC, that we need to move beyond, you know, getting together at gatherings like this and talking, coming up with ideas, which are invaluable, but we don't have the luxury of time. We need to move beyond just talking to taking action. So his vision for the WSDF was to distinguish it from platforms. Many exist and they play their part. But the most important thing he felt the WSDF needed to do was to bring together the great people we have the privilege of having here today, all of you, to not only come together, join hands, join hearts, join minds, but to come together to take action. So these 3 days are a part of a much bigger, longer, sustainable process. And I'm going to encourage each of you, please join hands. The only way we can really have a movement and do this in the very, very, very small window of opportunity we have is to come together and take action. Not today, not tomorrow, but yesterday. So I just want to say the first global annual WSDF event took place in Mexico City in 2018. We had the pleasure and privilege of having some of you join us there. And the WSDF has its annual global meetings in Mexico. And Dad's idea behind Mexico was, he was very keen, and I hope we'll be able to work together to make this happen, that we need to have models around the world where people can come, learn, be inspired, and replicate. And he hoped, and he hopes, he's here, listening, watching, and pushing us along, that we're going to make it happen here in Mexico. And he would say, if you look inside my heart is the color of the Mexican flag. And we had the pleasure of being connected with the leadership of Durango, who very warmly welcomed us and lent all the support we needed to get this done. Dad was over the moon. He was thrilled. So what I want to say is a very big thank you to the leadership of the state, Governor Dr. Torres, for his leadership in sustainable action, Secretario Alfredo, for his exemplification of action to protect our planet. What I also want to say is, we do have regional meetings. And we had one regional meeting in 2018 after the first global meeting, which took place in Sweden, in partnership with the Perfect World Foundation in September 2018. And I'm going to say right here, right now, we're going to have, and I'm greatly looking forward to, as is my sister, Dr. Shonali Pachauri, to spend time with each one of you, to think about, plan for, and then follow up on how we can work together at the global level, but also in each of your regions to be the change we want to see in this world. As our leader, Mahatma Gandhi, always said, and my father always quoted. I also want to say one more thing, since I talked about the pop movement, which was Dad's baby, where pop stands for Protect Our Planet, was born here in Mexico, and we're coming up to our birthday on Earth Day, which was launched together with our pop family, Eleonora, from Cinema Planeta, who welcomed us and helped us get it off the ground. But once we got started, we have now spread the pop movement to reach more than 1 million young people around the world, expanding to 25 countries and more than 150 partners, and we've just gotten started. We have a whole lot more to do. The premise of the pop movement is to mobilize young people to take action on issues of climate change. The pop movement mentors them, and this action is founded on the science of climate change with the idea that knowledge will inspire action. And yes, young people at the heart of it, but young people, as my dad would always say, are the ones who have the ability to influence their parents, their friends' parents, their neighbors, their teachers, and therefore, we need a movement ground up where we change our mindsets, where we change our consumption habits and all that we've done to create the problems of today. And answers lie in not repeating what we've done, but changing it. So that's what the pop movement's about. And my prayer here to each one of you today is please come and join us to take forward his vision for a peaceful and sustainable planet for all its inhabitants. And as Dad would always say, the universe is one family. So I welcome you, our family, and I hope we'll join our hands together. And Dad, I know, will keep his hand on our heads and in our hearts and will show us the light. And I'm going to say, Namaste. I know many of you would have heard of Namaste, but I want to tell you the meaning of it. And this is what Dad exemplified. I fold my hands and pray from my heart to yours. To honor Dad, I will ask each one of you, please, today as you greet each other, please fold your hands and say Namaste. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Muchas gracias al doctor Ash Pachauri.
Muy buenos días a todas y todos, muy distinguidas y distinguidos.
Good morning, everyone. Very distinguished members of the Presidium, distinguished guests. It is a privilege for me to address you on the day that we have honored the memory of a great man, Dr. Rajendra Pachauri. I believe all of us who have dedicated ourselves to the cause of environment have for a long time in our hearts all the work that he carried out as a head of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change and the voice he raised in all international forums to draw attention to a phenomenon that today is no longer an alien or strange topic for us. Climate change is a phenomenon that is impacting our societies, our economies, and also our lives. So today we honor him with much affection.
All right, so welcome back, everyone. I am Malinga Hope, and I'm going to chair us through this session as the Environmental Committee, Model UN General Assembly of the Pop Festival. So basically, we are going to have a presentation from Delegate of Tunisia from Group A.
Okay, so as our resolution to the crisis, we recommend that implement proper waste disposal and recycling systems. This should be done in secluded areas such that the citizens' health is preserved. Encourage member states to promote and support companies that are not using plastic. Consider education campaigns to avoid the use of plastic. Strongly affirm delegation and scientific areas for disposal of plastic and move citizens away to protect their health. Establish a legal framework for member states on plastic producing companies.
Delegate of Tunisia, how do you wish to yield the floor?
I didn't understand.
Delegate, how do you wish to yield the floor? Would you like to yield it to someone else, or you'd like to yield it back to I? Yield the floor back to the chair.
Oh, so we welcome any amendment.
Okay, thank you for your presentation, and I kindly request that you share the screen of your resolution so that we are able to raise points of information.
Can I put the resolution in the chat?
Okay. All right, so Delegate of Tunisia is sharing the information to the group chat. And in case you have any points of information towards the presentation made by Delegate of Tunisia, I suggest that you raise up your hand or drop them in the group chat so that he replies to them before he leaves the platform. Any points of information? Points of information are asked in question form.
I have a point of information. When you say encourage member states to promote and support companies that are not using plastic, is that companies, what do you mean by companies not using plastic? Does that mean they're not using it in manufacturing, or that they're not producing plastic, or how does that work?
They're using alternatives to plastic. They could have used plastic in parts of their products or manufacturing, but they're finding alternatives and using alternatives. So in order to promote that, the resolution talks about promoting those industries.
Thank you, Delegate.
Thank you so much, Delegate of Egypt, Group A. Is there any other point of information directed to the Delegate of Tunisia, Group A? Any? All right, so
point of information.
Right.
When you say establish legal framework for member states on plastic producing companies, may other non-member states also join the legal framework in order to increase pressure?
Yes, they may.
All right. Thank you so much. Any other points of information? One more point of information and we are good to go. All right, so I'll call upon delegate representative of Group 2 to present a resolution. But before that, are there any let's vote for or against the resolution by simply raising up the hand. Raise up your hand if you are for this resolution of Group A. Simply raise up your hand on the group. Raise up your hand. Come to the participants and raise up your hand from here. And then we are going to count. How many are for? Remember, you vote once. Destiny, are you taking notes? How many are for?
Yes, I'm taking notes.
All right, so how many are against resolution of delegate of Tunisia for group? How many are against? Delegate of Tunisia, you're against your, oh. So Destiny, are you counting those against? And then you take note as well. All right, I would like a group representative for 2 to come and present their resolution. We have 10 minutes left, so you have about 3 minutes to give an opening speech and present your points.
Yeah, also just to say it, we have less than 10 minutes left, so we could finish up the activity for sure, and we could just end like a minute or two before the end of the hour.
Representative for group 2, please, the floor is yours.
So Priyasi, if you would like to go ahead and present.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of
we're
what
group
group
2.
is ours.
Yeah, we're too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Priyasi.
So, Nampak has been burning plastic as a source of energy, which has added dangerous contaminants into the air, leading to the death of many people a single day. The resolutions which we came up with is number 1, we approve of the decision to use solar panels to reduce the reliance on coal burning electricity. Number 2, declare that grocery shops should not sell in plastic bags. And number 3, approval to have fines for grocery shops selling their material in plastic bags, which we encourage agro-processing and biodegradable packaging to reduce the company's post-consumer effects. Number 4, we call upon all neighbor states to find alternatives to plastic, like use of cartons instead. Number 5, congratulate the state on recycling 76% of metal products annually.
PIC from group 2, how would you like to yield the floor?
Sorry?
How would you like to yield the floor? Would you like to give me back the floor so that I proceed? Okay, are you done with your presentation?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so are you open to any points of information?
Yes, sure.
All right, so any points of information for Priyasi in regards to her presentation?
Can you share the resolution in the chat? Or I don't know if you have it written out.
Do you have it written out anywhere? Okay, so we shall go to voting procedures. How many are for this resolution? Simply raise up your hand. You vote once. You vote once. How many are for this resolution?
Chair, I suggest that for voting procedures, if anyone wants to vote against, if anyone wants to vote for, kindly tap the green tick, and if you want to vote against, tap the red X.
Yes. Ray, are you doing the counting, the mathematics?
If you're voting for, please tap the green tick, and if you're voting against the resolution, they have been sent in the chat box, tap the no X.
All right, delegate of Morocco Group 2, you've been recognized. How was your voting? Why did you vote for this resolution? Anna, why did you vote for this resolution?
Sorry. I voted for this resolution because I think it's very complete. It takes into account the solutions for the industry, solutions for the neighboring communities of the industrial production plant, and it also takes into account legislation in case of non-compliance.
All right, thank you so much. Anyone voting against this resolution, kindly raise up your hand. Against? Or use the cross? No. All right, kindly present your statistics, Ria, so that we are able to. So Group A had 6 people voting for the resolution, and the rest decided to abstain, yet remain to vote for or against the resolution. And how many voted for Group B's resolution?
7.
7. On that note, the resolution for Group B passes. Hence, Group B, congratulations upon being the think tanks and providing solutions to the issue of banning of plastics among member states of the UN. And we shall try to compile all the solutions you got and make a position paper from both Group A and Group B. Thank you, Group A and Group B, for equal participation and presentation of really, really smart points. Most of them I believe, are achievable, though most of them are characterized in terms of long and short term. And on that note, we'd like Anna to present to us the inspiration of Hitachi Africa to bring up this workshop, which is our project that is going to kick off on January 18, 2021.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. And we need to wrap it up. Anna, I don't know if you're going to go ahead and close it up, but this was absolutely incredible.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. Unfortunately, we have to run, but it was great seeing you all. I'm going to take a picture super quickly. So smile. Ready? 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. We need to close.